We are live. You're listening to the Love Gurus podcast. Every week we are here, 7:30. No, it's 7:30. I'm a fucking moron. 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
7:30
on
for the
YouTube.
Central Time.
We're starting now.
Ask the Love Guru
Just do it.
to tell you what to do.
Yes, we will.
Listen to the Love Guru.
Listen
Or your
to
life is through.
Beep, 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 boo. Oh, yes.
Love Guru.
Yes, you heard the man. This is the Love Gurus podcast. We're going to take ridiculous dating questions from the wild animals on Reddit and from you guys in the chat. Like and subscribe. Give us your comments. Give us your questions in the chat. Mash that little button down there. It definitely helps us out. And watch live every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Suzanne, how was your week?
Well, my week has been okay, but today
Sure.
was really the star in the crown, the diamond in the crown, because I went to my doctor and she told me I have dense breasts.
Dude,
Wow, I am bragging. Okay.
you got your breast got density shamed.
I guess
That's wild.
I guess it's a good thing because
Dude.
then she goes, so, she's like Eastern European. She's like, sometimes no ladies get mammogram. It's just fatty tissue. You have dense breasts. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
wow, thank
Did
you,
she
thank
say
you,
it like
Olga.
it was a good thing, a bad thing, or was she apathetic about the density?
She was sort of like, well, we're gonna have to. Well, she was saying it because she had to really get in there to do the exam, right? So I don't know if I was assaulted. I don't think I was.
Wow.
I was complimented, certainly.
Did she say you have dense breasts and then go, Ayuga?
And then her eyes popped out of her head. It was very weird. Yeah. It was
Dangerous
very weird.
motorboating in these dense breasts. You could put someone's eye
Yeah.
out.
I took it as a compliment, and yeah, again, I'm definitely bragging when I say that comment. So
They are dense and cold like Soviet winter. That's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah, it was great. Yeah.
All right.
But
well,
so I've had a good day, I guess, at least. But what's even better is that we have amazing guests. This
Fuck
week.
yeah, we do.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited about our guest too. Let me introduce our guest. First up, she's a returning guest to the show, a hilarious stand-up comic, the one, the only, Divya Gunasekaran.
Yeah, Divya.
Hey.
Thank you for being on.
yeah, thank you
Tell
for
them where they
having
can
me.
find you.
You can find me on social media at Divya_undone.
All right, follow her.
Ooh.
Definitely go and follow that cat too that just walked across the. Luckily, it's a spotted cat. I don't think that's bad luck at all. It's fine. Actually, that cat really likes Alex. Let me introduce our second guest. He's a first-time guest of the show, a hilarious stand-up comic, the one, the only Alex Payne.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Tell them where they can find you.
Alex Payne Comedy on everything or Sad Money Podcast.
Yes, yes.
Ooh,
Following
nice.
people. Follow him like this cat does, man. I'm telling you, this cat never follows anybody, but it's been all over Alex since he got here.
That cat is 99% antisocial. Like
Yeah.
so many times, we'll do the whole podcast, and the cat will pop its head out of something, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, I didn't know you had a cat."
Oh, yeah,
so
like we forget
it's,
to mention.
You have good cat vibes. That has
Yes.
to be a good thing. Or are you Alex? Are you a Halloween person? Do you read anything into being a cat person and a Halloween person?
Has
maybe?
pussy always been drawn to you?
Sure. Yeah. I would say that the cat thing, though, says more about people.
Sure.
Cats genuinely don't like most people in general.
Oh, that fucking cat still doesn't
Yeah.
like me. I've lived with it for years.
Yeah, that means that the cat is he's making a judgment about you.
Oh, dude,
Pretty
cat
heavily.
will
Yeah.
beat your ass.
Yeah, the cat has to go, okay, you're worthy of my level. You know?
Wow.
Yeah,
okay,
cats are
nice.
they're woke creatures. They know a lot. They see interdimensionally.
Yeah.
I think that definitely makes sense. Jack saw you coming in and thought, all right, I'm a fuck with this.
That's right.
He saw me coming in and he was like, I like this guy's aura spiritually. This guy's on another level.
Yes.
Because you got to think about it. The
I
most
think this
powerful
is
people
great.
Interdimensionally.
in the land were the pharaohs.
Yeah.
And who did the pharaoh make his body look like at the Sphinx? A cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means the cat and the pharaoh are right here.
I must say, if I went into like a palm reader or some sort of fortune teller and that person had a cat and the cat hated that person, I'd be like, nah, you can't really see the future.
That's true.
Like you have
Exactly.
That's
you have
true.
no qualifications. if this cat doesn't like you, you seem like a scam artist.
See, look, I live with this cat. I'm petting him right now, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Like, he's annoyed. He sees interdimensionally. He sees me as a 2-dimensional piece of shit.
I think he's trying. Look, now he's turned to face you.
Yeah, nah, we get along.
I think he sees that you're friends with Alex, and he's
Yeah,
like,
that's right. he was like, dude, I never really gave him a chance before, but if Alex likes him, I mean, I've lived with him for I don't know, 6-7 years.
It's
but-
like when your nerdy younger brother or sister finally brings over a cool friend. Okay,
Yeah.
now I'll talk to you.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, now you're. It's moist in here. No.
Yeah. What,
Anyone
moist?
else?
Moist.
I'm moist.
Damn.
I thought you
Yeah.
guys did that for Love Gurus.
Oh, it's,
Yeah. No, we moisten it up for the show,
Oh,
for
the
sure.
humidity makes it
Yeah.
a better podcast.
It does.
Maybe it's just
It does.
me. I do run hot. In
Most
general.
of our advice is like, you need to get yourself more moisture because it's actually we had a flooding issue a couple weeks ago, and the place has been moist since then.
Oh,
And,
yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah.
it was
I
so
mean,
moist we almost sued our landlord. It
It's
was
good.
it was a whole
I mean,
issue.
it's good for your skin.
Yeah. That's what our landlord said, and we said no. It's
Yeah.
moldy. It's so good for us.
I was
going
going
to
to say that. I was like, I think
Yes.
it might be moldy.
Oh yeah, we're risking our lives right now.
Yeah.
But it's worth it to give people good love advice, man. Let me take some comments. We got a lot of comments in the chat. Man on YouTube says this is for the theme. He says when family gets in the way, which is the theme this week. You mean to tell me the Gambino are going to come into South and start eating from the Irish table? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Gambino was an Italian family, right?
Yeah, it's a crime
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Crime family.
Let's see. He says Ricky from Boys in the Hood didn't. If Ricky from Boys in the Hood didn't have a kid, he wouldn't have
Had
gone
go
to get cornmeal.
cornmeal, yeah.
Yes, that is true. That is true. He should have worn a condom. He'd still be alive today. Let's see. Amy on YouTube. Producer Amy says it's a great cat. Not a death cat. Yes, man on YouTube called him a death cat.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
It's this cat brings
We're
blessings.
we're not in a nursing home. Death cats are just for nursing homes, I think.
Wait, what's a death
No, that's
cat?
all.
You know, yeah. So it's there are several. When I say several, I probably mean 5 or less nursing homes that have a cat, and they report that when a patient or a resident is about to die, the cat will spend time, like, go to the resident's room.
Holy fuck! Really?
Yeah.
Cats know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They actually.
And they'll like curl up with the person as if to be
I did
like,
not know that.
Rest well.
I just
young
thought it was a
soldier.
black cat.
Yeah.
Like where they say,
No.
if a black cat crosses your tail. I thought
Again,
it was a black
I
cat.
think that I'm probably talking about less than 5 places. And is that? What's that noise? Is that the death
laundry.
I mean, I think that cat knew that the ceiling was about to fall. In. That's why he's out
I
here.
was going to ask if that's
He knows
why the
we're
cat
fucked.
is into Alex.
Because I'm
Oh.
about to die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
uh-huh.
that's not why.
It's you need to get that lump checked, dude.
Yeah.
The density in your breasts, it
Yeah.
turns out it's stage 3.
Yeah, it's again, yeah. So one nursing home did it, and then the others that followed afterwards. Was it really a death cat, or did the RNs that worked at the nursing home just be like, you know what, we really don't like a Zelda anymore. Let's just put the cat in
Yeah.
her bed and hope she.
I do like the idea of people hiding cat treats under her pillow, like the Tooth Fairy or something, like just to fuck with people,
It's
shit.
like a placebo effect, except you
Yeah.
die. Okay,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Whoops.
Yeah, it's a fun experiment.
Yeah.
Dude, if I worked in a nursing home, I'd have fun. Let's get
Yeah.
side gigs in nursing homes.
I worked in a nursing home for a few months when I was in high school, and my job was primarily to wash people's wheelchairs, which sounds like a terrible job. But I mean, imagine washing a car, but it's just a wheelchair. Like, that was my job, right?
I mean, it's better than washing the hindquarters. You know what I mean?
So I mean,
there's worse thing to wash.
I really
in a
didn't. I
nursing
mean,
home.
I interacted with residents, but I wasn't responsible for any of their care. And
Right.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, that was not my dream job. It would not be my dream job to be a CNA, a certified nurse's assistant at a nursing home, because them's the people that deals with some shit.
Yeah, but it's worth it though.
Like
It's,
real shit, like real
Yeah.
shit.
It's
Like
worth it
what-
though. It's my dream job because I get to take their medication and swap it out with
I guess
good
you
point.
could do
children's
that.
vitamins.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
That's the move. But without further ado, are you guys ready for your first question from the wild animals on Reddit?
Yes.
All right, first question on the Love Gurus podcast. People, if you've got questions to write in, then do not waste any time. Write them to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. Or even better, like and subscribe and watch live every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Give us your comments, give us your questions live right in the chat. But for now, we're going to take our first question from the wild animals on Reddit.
First question. Significant other has no hobbies. I'm 34 and my girlfriend is 26. I'm constantly learning about new things and taking on new hobbies like gardening, cooking, cycling, etc. My girlfriend doesn't seem interested in much besides watching TV. I've made ample efforts and space to include her in my hobbies, but they seem to not bother her. She is in university, which is only a few days a week, and then she works 3 to 4 hours per week. I've mentioned how I'm supporting her financially and that she should really take time in her life to enjoy it as much as she can. She has loads of free time, and I feel like she squanders it. She gets kind of mopey that I don't want to lay around the house with her. I definitely spend lots of time with her in the evenings, and I try to treat her as amazingly as I possibly can. She says that she wants to be treated like one of my hobbies, and I already do what I can with her, but it concerns me the way she views my life, and it seems like hers is completely different than mine when it comes to hobbies. Is this a long-term relationship killer? So this guy, the guy writing the question, he's 34, she's 26, she's still in university, so it sounds like she's sort of on a delayed path. She works and goes to university, so that's why she's still there. And he loves doing the hobbies, but he is reporting that she just likes to watch TV in her free time, like a monster.
Dude,
like
I
a
feel
monster.
bad for this lady. She just wants to be loved, and this guy's out fucking bowling or whatever it is he's doing, you know? This is a sign of a sad, lonely woman who, I mean, hey, hobbies are great, but let's face it, not everybody's into Pokemon or whatever this guy's doing. Did he even say what his hobbies are?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said
Gardening.
Gardening. That's a fucking lame hobby.
Gardening, cooking, cycling, etc. So-
Dude, like these kind
I'm
of...
going to be honest. This is one of my steadfast rules, which is you never marry somebody before the age of 30.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the 26-year-old is doing what normal 26-year-olds do, which is not knowing they're 26. And, not doing stuff with their good knees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's out there being like, oh, man, I got to learn all these skills. So the truth is this going to work out? It can work if he learns to let her live her own life and go, you know what? I got to let her grow up like someone let me grow up. Or if you want to go this route, I don't know what kind of guy you are. If you want to be one of those guys, you're just going to have to cheat. There's no other way to go about it.
That's right.
You're going to have to get out there and you're going to have to say, hey, I'm
right.
gardening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
gardening's a great one. Fishing,
Uh-huh.
no, maybe not gardening, because gardening, they know where you're at. There's only so many places you can go. Fishing and photography, if you're looking to pick up those hobbies, those are great cheating hobbies. Personally, I've never cheated, but all my friends cheat, so I know these things. So I would say, sir, you either got to learn to love the person you're with or find someone else.
That's
guess-
right.
oh,
Find a
wow.
hot gardener. Find Martha Stewart. She's looking good for 87 years old or whatever she was at on Playboy
I get the
recently.
sense though that he doesn't have game. Like I think the only
No,
hoes in his
yeah.
life are from gardening.
Yes.
But I agree with you. Like he has to decide whether he wants to parent her or be her partner. Like the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
I'm financially supporting you. I'm gonna help you learn how to live your life. No, that's
Yeah.
not what a relationship
That's
is.
kind of lame, yeah.
It does sound very much like, okay, sweetie, today we're gonna take up cycling. Here's the padded pants, okay? And it's just like,
Yeah.
it's patronizing.
But also, he might like that. Like, he might have got her because he's like, I know where she's at.
Oh, I think that's why lots of men date younger is
Yeah.
because that's
Yeah.
one, their maturity level, and two, because it makes them feel like, oh, I'm wow, I have money. It's
So wait,
yeah, your girl.
I'm not
yeah,
gonna
your girl's
disagree
in
with
school.
you.
Yeah.
But you're saying that an older man, when he dates a younger woman, you're going, we're at the same maturity level. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm not. I think the opposite.
Wait. I want to hear it. What are you
Oh,
saying?
so I personally think that I agree with what Divya said. I think that he's, again, he's 8 years older than she is, which,
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, that's not like the hugest age difference, but
That's a
for
lifetime
this
away.
age range,
Yeah.
it is
Pretty age
big.
range
And,
is big.
and
When
especially
you're in the 20s and stuff.
the
Yeah.
fact that she is literally still in college. So if she were working, that would be different. But the fact that she's still in college, she doesn't have, she's not gainfully employed yet. And he is holding her to the standard of, it's almost like a Stepford wife thing where, okay, you have to be able to make scones and macarons and, have that shit on the table when I come home from work. Like, he's not saying that per se, but it's almost like he's projecting that these hobbies should enhance his lifestyle in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't sound like he's saying, oh, you should get a hobby because it seems like you're bored. It's not like she sat on the couch like, I wish I had something to do. No, she seems completely fine to watch TV.
Yeah.
She's totally fine where she is.
She sounds like a fucking awesome girlfriend, dude.
He's saying,
Hey.
oh, how about you learn how to basket weave so that you can basket weave a house for us, or whatever. It's like she needs to get a hobby, aka something to make him feel better when they go to parties. Of like, oh, did you know that Linda's really into terranium making? She makes the best terranium.
My whole fucking living room is covered in terrariums now.
Her selection of the succulents it's been commented on that she has an eye.
What's a terranium? I didn't know before I met Linda. Now I'm a goddamn terraniologist. It's awful. It's awful. I hate it.
I'm gonna say this as a guy who has dated younger women. Don't expect anything. That's just rule number one.
Yeah.
The reason you got with them is because they're young and there's no expectations.
That's a good point.
That's
The
two.
selling
Well,
point is their youth and not their
Yeah.
hobbies. Stupid.
She probably got with him because he kind of sounds like someone who's a nightmare, and she was too young to know the difference.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That could be it too. I'm
That,
not saying
there is that scene in that movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds where there's that lady who basically says more or less what you were saying earlier. To him, he was saying like, she goes, well, the reason you date younger women is because they don't know any better.
Yeah.
And women that are older would not fuck with you because you got all these problems that they have not been with a guy to. They have not been with enough guys to catch the red flags, basically, is what's going on here. This guy seems like a fucking basket case. He seems like a mess.
I don't know if he's a basket case, but I think he wants his cake and he wants to eat it too. Which is a little bit much. If you want to do that, you got to stay in the kitchen and bake it, sir. And that's for you.
Yeah.
Only you can bake that cake for yourself.
You
But
claimed
you know what?
baking
He's-
was a hobby.
yeah.
Put your money where your mouth is, sir.
Yeah.
He is going to take that up as a hobby now. It's just-
And then you'll be able to bake a cake and bring it into her when she's watching television and, go ahead and live your life. Or,
Yeah, dude. This guy, I hope that he breaks up with her and gets a girlfriend that is actually a fucking pain in the ass, so he gets to realize how good he had it with this one.
Yeah.
Her hobby is sitting at home watching Netflix. A, cheap. Okay?
True.
She's a cheap date.
True.
B, two of your hobbies are basically hanging out at home. All right? You
Yeah.
listed three things. Two of them are at home. There was cooking and there was gardening. Those led themselves to watching Netflix. You
Yeah.
grow the food. You cook the food. You sit in front of your favorite TV show with her, which is her hobby, and you eat the food.
Yeah.
These are two hobbies that lean on each other. This is
Well,
crazy.
here's the other thing I will say about people who are, consider themselves hobbyists, like the person writing this question. There's a reason why. Do you guys all remember Doc Brown from Back to the Future?
My favorite
yeah.
movie.
Yeah, there's a
yeah,
reason
yeah,
why
good one.
Doc Brown didn't have a missus until later in life, because
Yeah.
he was this hobbyist that was fucking crazy about this time machine,
Yes.
right? And so any chick that came along was like, "You are crazy. This hobby that you have," but then once he actually invented a time machine, that's when he found his wife, and she's like, "Oh, cool! You actually that actually produced
Yes.
something." Okay,
I,
know what I'm
I'm gonna
saying?
disagree
Yeah, this.
because I'm a huge Doc Brown fan. I'm
No,
gonna
I
say
am
this.
too, as a person. But if you
This guy's no Doc
let's
Brown.
say
Great Scott. He's a
it's
mediocre Scott at best.
It's 1979 in Springdale, whatever the town is that they Hilldale.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's
big
ni-
chance.
Hill Valley.
Fucking
Hill
Christ,
Valley.
man. This is
Yeah.
this is deep.
1979 in Hill Valley. Doc Brown.
This is autistic as fuck.
Doc
That's
Brown
like the
goes
Rain
on
Man.
a date. Doc Brown goes on a date with a young lady in the town, and he brings her back to his garage, and he's like, "I'm building a time machine." It's
Yeah.
like, run, bitch, run.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that is
It's
red flag
because
city.
chances are it's not a real time machine, and he's an insane person with crazy hair, and she's gonna get murdered.
Yeah. So again, like, let's just also.
Okay.
people with
Einstein didn't
hobbies-
get laid a lot in
People with
college.
hobbies also tend to be hoarders and just
Yeah.
have all this shit everywhere. It's
Uh-huh.
like, oh, I'm gonna need that mulcher one day for the garden, and it's
Yeah.
in your bathtub.
He's going to be 20 years from now. He's going to be on an episode of that show while they're going, "Oh, it's my hobbies. Don't throw it out. I collect those."
my strange addiction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's take a step back. First of all,
I love that you're
Doc Brown was a man who was in the wrong time, which is why when he went back to 1855 in the Old West and found Claire Barton, who became the lady that didn't die because that's where they're supposed to die in
Yeah.
the hill.
Yeah.
They were in the wrong time. She was in love with Jules Verne. It was hard for him to meet people who were Jules Verne.
Now we're
Also-
talking Back to the Future 3?
Yeah,
Jesus
that
Christ.
was the least
Yeah.
popular of the movie. This
No.
Oh,
is insane
dude,
to me.
if the director could have gone back in time, he would have unmade that fucking movie.
Also,
Like,
they didn't. She wasn't in love with Jules Verne. They
She
just
was.
like the book.
She loved Jules Verne.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you meant like
this is
she had, like, a
insane to me
relation-
right
This-
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
How do you
same.
know this
As
much
well.
about Back to the Future 3?
Well, even
I'm
when
gonna be
Suzanne
honest.
was talking about the love interest, I'm like, I don't remember that.
I
in
know.
any of the movies.
I
have
remember
seen-
there was a
This
guy with a
is-
handlebar mustache
Yeah.
and a cowboy
This
gun. That's the
is
only thing I remember.
storyline
That's
from
Mad
the
Dog
third
Canon.
movie.
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm such an advocate for the girl that sits on the couch and watches TV all day? Okay, I've been there, done that. Like, this
I
is my
agree.
girl.
First of all,
You know, I know I've been talking shit about this guy the whole question. You two need better hobbies. This is fucking
I have
rough.
seen Back to the Future at least the whole entire series at least over maybe 150 times.
Wow.
I watched
Wow,
it.
dude.
I watched it
Interesting.
literally last week. It's one of the best. The first movie is one of the best, probably the best movie of the 80s. in general.
This first one is an
one.
all-time
Yeah.
classic.
And then
Explain the rest of them.
okay, the
Two
second
was
one,
fun. Two was fun.
The
I'll,
second
I'll,
one
I'll,
I like.
I'll have your back on two
This
a bit.
this is where
a bit.
2 is
The
cool.
first half
It was
two.
fun when the first
Yes.
It was fun for when I was a kid. I
Yeah.
liked the future part when I was a kid.
2 is cool when you're
Oh,
a
look
kid.
at the tiny pizza. That's a big pizza
and
now.
you
It was cool
see
when I was 10.
The whole entire future thing, and then it turns out that Biff Tannen is Donald Trump. It's cool to
Right.
It
see,
was pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
but it's not a
He
good
made
movie.
Las Vegas great again.
that part was just an unfortunate coincidence,
right,
really.
but it's not a good movie as a story.
Dude,
3 is a actual film because 1 and 2 is about Marty going through time and he has to
Yes.
figure out what goes on with his parents. 3 is the first movie about Doc Brown, where you figure out who Doc is and what he likes. He has a relationship.
Yeah.
And then he decides that he wants to stay in the past. And that's, I think, a better movie because... And then 2. 1's the best, but I'm just saying you get to know who Doc is and what he likes.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've only seen it.
Okay.
And
maybe
Doc is
one time.
romantic more
So
than
maybe
he
I just
is a scientist. That's what you learn.
Because Clara brings that out in him.
Yes.
He didn't know he had that side.
But he was in the wrong time. That's the point. He
Ah.
shouldn't have been in 1955.
I mean, maybe 100 more times and I'll have true appreciation for it. That's what I'm thinking.
you
I haven't
just
seen it
gotta
enough times.
watch it again as an adult and go like, oh, I understand what this is.
I'm
about
still gonna
now.
bet that it's not 100 times worth watching good.
No.
Yeah, it is.
That's the
It is.
craziest,
That's-
most autistic thing I've ever
It
heard
is.
on this show.
Well, I watch a lot of movies in general. I'm a bit
Yeah.
of a cinephile as myself, but
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah. But I love Back to the Future because it's like such a hard thing to write.
Tell me, if you liked even
Yeah.
Back to the Future 3, what was your thoughts on Hot Tub Time Machine? Because I fucking love that one. And it gave even Easter eggs for Back to the Future. There was all kinds of references and shit.
And what about Encino Man is another one.
Encino Man, this is all of the well. That Encino Man is Rip Van Winkle, right? Which is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Washington
Yeah.
Irving
Mhm.
story. And then Hot Tub Time Machine is just absolutely ridiculous nonsense, but it's funny.
It's funny. It
But
was a great
there's
movie. I loved it.
not A good story. Back to the Future
Well, no,
has a good story.
it was Hot Tub Time Machine was just doing. It was sort of like a funny parody of Back to the Future.
Yes.
that was. I mean, they even had the dad from it
Yeah.
who like loses. You're gonna lose that fucking arm. You know. I mean, it was great. And
I
it was like a
think-
whole running thing with him.
Christopher Lloyd is an unsung genius.
Yeah.
He's an
Oh, he's
amazing
great.
actor.
He's the man.
All the way up from Taxi. I don't know how we got from here to this guy's relationship, but from Taxi.
Because this conversation is more interesting than that guy's hobbies.
He needs, you know what? You
Exactly.
actually sit sit down and watch
nail
Back to the
on the
Future.
head.
You guys should sit down and watch the Back to the
Yeah.
Future trilogy together.
That will solve their
Yeah.
relationship.
Sure. You're Doc Brown, and this lady ain't your Claire. Okay?
Well, she's
you gotta
Marty
go back
in this
time.
situation. I think
Yeah.
that's the whole thing,
Yeah.
and also like this is what you guys need to do. You need to figure out some way to come to her with TV.
Yes.
Because you do watch TV. You just need to figure out times where you go, oh, maybe she likes to watch. I don't know. Like I'm not gonna lie. When I date somebody, I usually like older movies. So
Really?
I try to get them to go watch older movies with me.
Okay.
Interesting.
Sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't. But usually people mostly like it. So like I'll
Well,
get them to watch
that's
something
also.
like that.
I think that's also a safer bet because now there's just so much.
Yeah.
That
There's a lot out
chances
there.
of
Yeah.
if you start
Yeah.
dating, if you started a relationship with someone, today, the chances of you having seen similar movies in the early 2000s versus today, it's like you have more chance of, oh yeah, I've seen that movie. That is a good movie, or you've at least heard of it. Whereas now, it's like Mike will say to me, he's like, "Oh, did you see this?" And I'm just like, 9 times out of 10, I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right,
Like
yeah, yeah.
there's just so much stuff out there.
Let me.
now.
Eugene is in the chat.
Hi,
He says all
Eugene.
people have problems. That's right, man. That's true.
Aw.
Man on YouTube says,
Next question.
let's see, is Patrick Mahomes' wife or brother?
Ugh.
Oh, I'm his brother, Jackson Mahomes. I don't know if you know this. I'm not actually neither one. I'm Travis Kelce. I'm Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Producer Amy on YouTube says Back to the Future was great. How about the next question? Oh man, she's keeping us on track.
Oh.
All right, let's do final advice then.
Okay, final
Any
advice.
final advice for this guy?
Yeah, final advice for this guy is your relationship is doomed. Because if you're judging her this hard when she's in university and you are like what. Because you don't say anything in this question of what you love about her, what you appreciate her, like her qualities. You are just slagging her off like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, this guy
so, like,
sucks, dude.
Do you even like her? It doesn't
he
sound
likes
like
you.
you do. So just
I think he
fucking
does.
end it, dude. And find yourself a botanist that you guys can totally do it on a fern.
Yeah, that's right. Give her your
Yeah.
green finger.
Yeah.
I
Green
think
thumb.
final advice: you should stay with her, and you should just, you know what I mean, ride this out like one of those dudes on those bulls. You know what I mean? Just like eventually,
This is
What?
your rodeo.
eventually you're gonna
They're
get thrown off,
Uh-huh.
and then you'll be able to recoup and look back at your life and go, "What was I thinking?" And
Yeah.
then you'll be 40, and then you'll find a 32-year-old, and then you'll be ready.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it.
And after she bugs you off, she's going to be going, I should have spent way less than 8 seconds with that asshole. He sucks.
1000%.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess my final advice for him would be he's got to find better hobbies, okay? So I'm just saying, he listed his hobbies. They sound like basic-ass hobbies, you
Yeah.
know? Like, one of them was just basic nourishment, all right? And the other one kind of lent itself to that anyway, you
Yeah.
know? Bicycling, sort of a mode of transportation unless you're doing it in the fucking mountains or something.
Yeah.
So I'm not impressed with his hobbies at all. And I think she probably was like, I thought about getting hobbies, but I saw how boring this guy's hobbies are. And hobbies fucking suck, dude. So it's like, how are you going to be the spokesman for hobbies when you got the shittiest hobbies there are? Do something fucking cool, man. Get into fencing or parasailing or just do something where it's like, oh, it's cool. Mountain climbing. I don't know. There's this documentary on Netflix, this series called Human Playground, where they do all kinds of cool shit. There's people that free dive into ice cold water and they just go as deep as they can on one breath. Do they get brain damage and die from it? All the fucking time. But it's interesting, sir.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Dude, I would want to just sit on the couch and not do any of this shit you just said to me. So, like, how the fuck are you going to get her off the couch to do it? Esther, friend of the show, says, I've had the opposite.
Where guys complain that I had too many hobbies.
Where guys complain that I had too many hobbies. Yeah, yeah. It's that's the thing is that's the other extreme is worse, dude. And you're the other extreme. She's like, I just want to be in a relationship where I hang out with the guy sometimes, and he's always dicking around in the garden or riding a bike.
Yeah.
That fucking blows, dude.
Well, I would say listen, I think it's I like someone who has an active life and has things
Yeah,
they're passionate
sure,
about.
sure.
So if you if this guy wants that, that's totally fair. So decide if that's important to you, Or if you want to be with this woman, decide like what you like about her. Like Suzanne said, like, do you actually want to be with this woman for who she is right now? And like treat her properly. Don't try to change her. Otherwise, she will get a hobby, and it's going to be fucking other dudes.
Oh,
Yeah!
That would be my hobby if I was his
people's
girlfriend.
favorite
Absolutely.
hobby.
Oh, Joel on YouTube says, masturbation is a hobby, right? I mean, hi, y'all.
Oh,
How's it
yeah.
going?
Thanks, Joel.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Great. Well, we answered that question. Let's move on to the next
Absolutely.
question.
Next question on the Love
From the
Gurus
uprising in the
podcast.
chat.
People, write your questions to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com, or even better, write them live in the chat. Watch live. Give us your questions. Give us your comments every Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to take our next one from the wild animals on Reddit.
Next question. My boyfriend's ex moved in with his parents. My boyfriend is 28 and I'm 27.
Holy fuck.
We've been dating for almost 4 years. My boyfriend and his ex dated from 2017 to 2019. His ex, who's 27, moved in with his parents, who are close to 60. She moved in sometime mid-August, and she's planning to move out in December of this year. But for these last 4 months, we feel very pushed aside as now we can't go over to his parents' house. We normally have football Sundays with them in their house, but this year there will absolutely not be any of that. His parents are genuinely the nicest people, and they just wanted to help her. They said that the two worlds would never collide. But am I right in saying that the two worlds have long collided?
The two worlds have crashed into each other and completely shattered. That's crazy.
We're clearly affected by this situation. My boyfriend is being passive and not telling his parents how he really feels about this situation. There's obviously some jealousy occurring here with me too. I think that it's normal to be jealous in this situation because it's my boyfriend's ex living in my future in-laws' house.
Whoa,
And
that's a lot.
An important fact is that the ex also had a baby 2 years ago with another guy. The baby is also living with the parents. I'm 99% sure that the little girl thinks that my boyfriend's parents are her grandma and grandpa, which pisses me off. Am I justified in feeling angry at them for allowing this extremely inappropriate situation to occur? I strongly feel it's inconsiderate and disrespectful to me and my boyfriend. Would you say anything to them? Do you say anything to the ex? How do I deal with this situation? I mean, this is as messy as spaghetti on a wall. So it's So just to give a quick recap. So the person writing this question, her boyfriend, his parents allowed her boyfriend's ex to move in with them with her baby that is from a totally different guy.
That's insane.
So because they felt bad for her. And so now, obviously, the boyfriend and the person writing the question, they feel we are going over to his parents' house because the ex is there with the baby of like, this is the life you could have had. I mean, that whispers certainly in the walls, no?
Did they say how old the baby was?
2. 2.
So it's like 2 asking, hey, who are these people? Are my grandpa? No. Very difficult story. You're going to need to get to be at least 6 or 7 before you can even comprehend how I know these people and why we're here.
I would say my advice would to be, first of all, shout out to the ex who moved in. You're a real player for that one. That's a great move.
That's a boss move.
That's
a boss move.
Boss bitch shit.
I mean, that's salesman-y. I don't know how you fucking talked him into it.
Yeah, that's fucking Jordan Wolf of Wall Street level. Like, sell me this pen. It's like, wait.
Yeah.
I want to move in and I have a baby, and they're like, whoa, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Second of all,
if you use that talent to sell stocks or timeshares or fucking anything
Yeah.
other
That'd be
than
amazing.
this,
And again, this with a baby that they are not biologically related to. It'd be one thing if the ex. I mean, it would be messier, but more understandable if the baby was the boyfriend's or the son's. But it's not. She's just like, hey, Rhonda and Paul, can I move in? And they're like, yeah, and bring the baby too.
there's a sucker born every minute. And beyond that, I would
and sometimes 2 of those suckers find each other and have your boyfriend.
Also, I would say, that's very kind of the parents as well. Third, I would say all you got to do is wait out to December. You know what I mean? Wait till December. I know what you're about to do, and be like, you did this to me, you did that to me. First of all, it's their home. That's their house.
That's a fair point too.
They can do whatever the fuck they want in that house, so you got to leave them alone. Beyond that, if you really want to get her out, I'm going to help you. What you got to do is you got to get the key from maybe your boyfriend or whatever, and you got to go in there when they're not around, when no one's home, and you got to start stealing shit and taking it. And then you blame it on the girl.
That's right.
And then you go like, hey, they're going to be like noticing things are missing. And then you're going to be like, wait a minute, somebody's stealing shit out of here.
Yeah.
And
I like that.
Oh.
That's a way to get rid of her if you want to be a real piece of shit.
That is the move.
This turned
Be
insidious.
toxic.
That is the move.
Wow.
They deserve it. They
And
deserve
that's how
it.
you do
Fuck
it.
them.
That's how you do it without a fight.
Yes. Yes.
Because then they're going to come around and be like, I think she's stealing from us. And that's when you're going to be like, what? No.
Yeah.
No.
I can't believe she would do that to your trust. But then again,
Yeah.
she did have another kid with someone who's not
Yeah.
your son.
And then you tell him to plant little things. It's like, oh, I broke up with her because not only didn't she have any hobbies, but
She's a thief.
yeah, she used to shoplift. Like she was like Winona Ryder without the Oscars and
Yeah.
shit. It was crazy.
Listen, this is a foolproof plan. I thought of it in 30 seconds. Nothing can go wrong. Nothing can go
Totally
wrong.
sign off on that.
Yeah.
I would tell you right now, do this, but do not bring it up to the parents. Do not cause a fight with the parents. And also, if you really, let's be honest, do you really want these people in your life if they're just letting people like that in?
No.
That's crazy.
No, absolutely
Well-
not.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely not.
Here's. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Or were you gonna say something, Divya?
Well, I was going to offer an alternate point of view. Like, we don't know that the girlfriend and the son are good people. What if they suck?
Yeah.
The
Because
girlfriend and son?
the parents sound like great people.
They sound nice.
So
Really?
generous.
They sound nice.
I don't know.
I think to welcome in
No.
someone into your home, because I don't know like what's going on with her exactly. If she's going through a tough time and the parents are like willing to let her live there, I think like maybe the son sucks.
This is why I offered
Yes.
three
I think that's a
scenarios.
good point.
My 3 scenarios were, shout out to the parents, that's good. The first one was, shout out to the lady who did it with the thing was good. And the third one was, I think they are pieces of crap. And I
No, the
was
third
like,
one
Well-
was here's advice to get a single mother arrested.
Exactly.
Yes, which I totally support.
And that's what I'm saying. Like you said, what if they're not good people? Like what
No.
if the girlfriend isn't? The
Yeah.
one that sent the letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what my advice was for. That was for the person who was like, hey,
Yeah.
kick this single mother out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were like this. The OP is not a good person, and so let me help them.
You
be
know-
a worse person.
You know who else is a single mother?
I don't make
Casey
judgments.
Anthony. They're not all good people. You know,
Yeah.
not all single mothers deserve
Well-
to be in your ex's parents' house.
Shout out to Google.
And you know what? She recognized that, and she took care of it.
Yes, 100%.
Check the Google search history. That's all you got to do. Prosecutors out there.
I think that
Oh, maybe while you're stealing things, put shit in her Google search.
There you go.
Yeah.
How to
Frame her
kill
like that.
parents
Yes.
and get home.
Uh-huh.
the one thing I think that we could probably all agree in this is that the parents are rich or rich for their community.
Sure.
If that makes sense. The parents obviously have the means to take someone else in. They have the extra room, et cetera, et cetera. So it's, because this ex probably could have gone to other places, but she thought, you know what? Let me just start with, the Beckhams and move in with them. Why not?
Yeah.
And so the parents are feeling like this is like a charity case that they're taking in. But also to what we were saying before, that the person writing the question and her boyfriend are pieces of shit. Maybe
That's a
this
distinct
ex was
possibility.
actually the unicorn that got away.
Could be.
It was the
Facts.
one girl that their son dated that they thought, okay, finally he dated someone who's normal, who's nice, who's semi-intelligent. Let's just, thank God. And then they broke up, and then she wants to move back in. It's like they're almost like reminiscing in the time that their son made a good decision.
That's true. And did we get the information on why specifically they insisted on having her live there?
No, I think
Did we
it's
go into
there's
detail on that?
there are no details as to
Okay,
why. She just moved it. It sort of
Could be
sounds like
anything.
Okay.
single mother, et cetera, et
What if
cetera.
it's flooding? You know what I mean? Like, what if it's just like, hey, my apartment flood is very moist inside.
It's a moist,
Yeah.
a moist situation.
Yeah, I need 4 months
As somebody
to move.
in an apartment with flooding, I would never move into my ex's parents. I don't care if my kids
or
starve
maybe
because
it's,
of it.
So I know you guys don't watch Real Housewives, but like, do you guys remember when Tinsley just needed a place to crash for 8 months until she like figured her life out? So it's like maybe it's just like the rich people thing where like she just needs a place to live for 4 months until her house is able, the house that she's building, they can move in.
I mean, maybe, but even then,
I feel like 27-year-old single mother. Maybe that's probably not the vibe. But I don't know.
I could say this. This is the one thing that I did get, which I thought was kind of weird, which was like, she was like, Sundays is our day to go over there and watch football, which is a little selfish. You know what I mean? Go to a bar, go
and
watch
also
it,
like
whatever.
the whitest of white trash things to say. No.
Also, I understand why you're saying that. But
I
then,
mean, that's what my family is. Hey, you want to come
yeah.
over and watch football? Well, we come over and watch football on Sunday. I mean,
But-
like, that's just that's my people.
I will say this.
how am I going to put tiger stripes on my face and cheer for the Cincinnati Bengals elsewhere? I can't do that.
I will say this. Maybe the parents, I don't know if this happens to you guys parents, but like when the last kid moves out, they miss having that identity of like raising children. So
empty nester.
Yeah, this gives
empty
them-
nesters.
Sure.
Okay.
this gives them that ability to be like, oh, I'm helping help her raise her family.
I
before
mean-
we
yeah,
started.
they're nurturers. Yeah.
Yeah, but this lady's over here talking about, well, I just want to come over here for like 6 hours and watch football and that's it. And
Yeah.
it's like, I can't even do that while this other lady's like, I'm trying to raise this kid. And they're like, yeah, it's nice to have, be able to help someone and be of use.
Yeah. The more we dissect this, the more I'm kind of going to Divya's point about how this guy's probably a piece of shit. Because this isn't a normal thing for parents to do. And if I remember right, she said they were only dating from 2017 to 2019. That's like 2 years.
2 years.
Right? So that's not long enough for the parents to really develop some kind of fucking bond with her and the kid. Like if you really, it's 2 years.
They could have been friends.
It's 2 years. It's 2 years. And so I think if you're the parents and you let them move in, this is sort of like a fuck you to the son. This sounds like advice that we would tell jokingly to somebody who wrote a question going, my son dated an awesome lady and a kid, and now he's dating a fucking psycho, and my son's kind of a piece of shit too. We would be like, let the ex move in. Let him sit in it. Let him sit in it. Ruin football Sunday.
I think we're going to need to check the tape because we may have done that.
Oh, yeah, dude, is this advice? If this was advice we gave, then hats off to you.
We're gonna need to check the tape this next week.
Dude, if we inspired
said that.
this crazy, diabolical Shakespearean plan, then I'm proud of us. We've made a difference in this world, and we've ruined your life, madam, because you pissed off your ex's parents somehow. And
That's
you were in the wrong.
me tipping my hat to you, young lady.
Yes. Joel on YouTube says, you got to teach the kids to drive scooter and slang rock. Oh, no, that was Matt. Sorry. Joel on YouTube says her hobby was kleptomania. Matt on YouTube says test the parents for fentanyl.
Oh, God.
Joel on YouTube says
so
dude
sad.
wants to get rid of her. Call me bro. Apparently my gift is the ability to make women leave me. Natalie on YouTube says, hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late. How's it going, Natalie?
Hello.
Thank you all for being here.
Yeah.
Matt says, here comes Gumbo Jim and the MAGA PGA Chevy. He's driving for second. Is that a Back to the Future 2 reference or something?
No, that's not.
Okay.
No, that's just an insanity reference.
Oh, yeah, that could be. That's Back to the Future 4. He's doing references to a Back to the Future that doesn't exist. Joel on YouTube says maybe the parents are sharing the X.
Yeah.
It could be. I mean, that would be the only good reason to move her in, unless you hated your son.
Right, Rooney.
I think Joel's been watching too much Pornhub. That's too much. Sharing the single. Well, you really want to earn your place here.
I want the porn music on, but it's almost football Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't care. And then they just go at it right
Yeah.
there on the nachos.
Well, okay, so let's just go to final advice. My final advice for this person is, listen, if you really love your boyfriend, I mean, you really are crying about like 12 weeks, not even at this point. You're crying about 10 weeks.
It's October.
So if you're saying that you can't, what's are you going to blow up this situation? Or are you going to make it awkward with your, what you hope to be your future in-laws and your boyfriend? I mean, just put a cap on it. It's like all families have drama. You are definitely not the person to say something in this situation.
No.
The only person
Yeah.
who could maybe say something in the situation is your boyfriend.
This should
But
be on him 100%.
You don't,
Yeah.
you
yeah.
don't be that fucking Tweety bird in his ear squawking. I mean, just be cool. And hey, just watch the football game at a bar, you fucking cheapskate. You know, find a place with shot and a beers. You know, why are you so crazy about going over to in-laws unless it's like Jeff Bezos' rooftop penthouse in, you know, Gramercy? Like, what are you talking about?
Even then, I don't want to watch football with that bald freak. He's probably eating like caviar
I'd
and
hang
foie
out.
gras for
I'd
for a
hang
football
out.
game.
I'd hang out with Lauren. Lauren seems
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's right.
She seems cool ass.
That's right. We need to convince Lauren to come with us to a bar to watch the Detroit Lions defeat the Buccaneers next weekend.
Anyway.
My team's finally good.
That's my final. What other final advice do we have for this question?
My
no, go ahead.
final advice would be to relax. Situations like these have a way of sorting themselves out naturally. You just have to be patient. It's not on your not on your time. Also, these are two grown people. This is their home. Even if he went to his mom and dad and said, "Hey, mom and dad, do this," they're like, "Shut up. We were alive 40, 30 years before you were
Right.
alive. So don't tell us what to do our place." Or you can steal. You can always
That's right.
steal your way to the top.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's an option.
I would also say just chill out.
Yeah.
It's a very temporary situation. Let it play out. Be grateful that if this is the man you want to marry, he has such kind parents, and you will also be afforded that kindness.
And if you divorce him one day, you can in fact move in with them.
Yes.
Got a free place to stay.
Amazing.
I mean, crazy. If they'll do this for their son's ex-girlfriend, imagine what they would do for his ex-wife.
Exactly.
Huh?
Yeah.
Really rolling out the red
Yeah.
carpet. Then they're building you your own wing on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. It's definitely on this guy to say something. It's not. You know, if anything, this is sort of like a red flag, a bit of a litmus test. If he's this bad at dealing with his parents and dealing with what's clearly an awkward situation for you, what the hell is it going to be like if you marry him? He's going to be a fucking nightmare. It's going to be something else. It's going to be something else. His parents clearly hate them. They hate you. And you're probably horrible people. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't give us a lot of detail there. That was, you skipped way over why the hell they're doing this. And I like to point this out at least once an episode. When in doubt, due to a lack of detail, I like to err against the person writing the question. Because A, this is on Reddit and these people are animals. B, this is a source by, for, and about them. It's their personal Fox News, their MSNBC, their North Korean state-run news if they inherited the whole country. So when they leave stuff out like, how come they let her move in? What happened when the son asked them about it? I have to believe that it's because it would make you look bad.
Also,
So you're sitting in the bed that you made.
It's only till December. You got literally like 2 more weeks, and Mariah Carey's about to start playing. So you're right there.
yeah.
You're right there. Just chill and
We
wait,
got
and you'll be good.
That's right.
This is the season where, there's just those band-aids to get you through no matter what's going on. Mm-hmm. Perfect. We answered that question. Let's do, okay, so just as far as timing goes, we're going to do the next question. We're going to do lightning round because the fourth question's pants.
Okay, cool. Next question is a lightning round question. That means we read the question and then we each do...
No. We're going to do the third question.
Yeah. The third question, we're going to do a lightning round style, which means we...
No. We're just...
Wait, what?
We're just going to do the third question.
Oh, shit. I got all dyslexic. I don't know what's going on. So we're going to take a third question. Oh, the Love Gurus podcast.
Anyway, okay. Okay.
But you can talk really quickly if you want, Jake.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I can talk fast. I can talk real fast.
Okay. Next question. Girlfriend's acting strange on a family trip. I'm 32 and my girlfriend's 35. She went on a family trip to Mexico for a month, and in the beginning, everything was great. She'd send me pictures, videos, and she'd even FaceTime me every once in a while. But then, a week later, she met up with one of her cousins, and she started acting different. And I've seen pictures of this cousin. Let's call him Alex. That's just purely. Well, let's change it just so that there's no. We'll say
No, he can be Alex. I'll be
okay,
Travis
okay.
Kelce, Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
He works in a tourist spot in a mountain preservation in Mexico, and it's considered one of the best places to travel to for sightseeing in all of Mexico. In the pictures that I've seen with my girlfriend, they seem friendly and touchy, and she even said that the family says they seem like they secretly love each other and gossip about them. But she and Alex just, of course, laugh it off. And I have it confirmed they are indeed cousins, which her mom said to me, as well as a 10-year-old in the family.
I
Okay,
really wish I
yes.
had banjo music cued instead of techno. It feels like it would be way more fitting.
Well, 2 weeks later, my girlfriend tells me that they're having a cousin-only sleepover at the top of the mountain preserve.
What the? Come on now.
Apparently, Alex has a cottage atop the mountain, and all of the cousins are going to go and
Cousin's
drink
cottage?
and
Really?
get to hang out together.
Oh, Christ.
Alex, by the way, is married and has a 2.5-year-old baby, but the wife didn't go to the party at the top of the mountain lodge. The next two
But
and a half
there
weeks-
are, sorry to interrupt, but there are multiple cousins. It's not just the two of them?
It says a cousin retreat, but he doesn't give like a roster.
I need a roster.
The next few days, she barely texts me at all and is very dry in her texts. I think, okay, maybe she's just hungover. But then the next day, she's still behaving differently and acting dry towards me. I'm usually a level-headed person, but things are looking really weird. Any advice? So this girlfriend, she's going on a trip with her family for a month, and then this cousin Alex shows up, who is a quote-unquote verified cousin. And but then they go to a mountain retreat,
We tested
and
him.
he then is sort of getting the cold shoulder from his girlfriend after said mountain retreat. I feel like this question is worded to sort of sling mud at her in the sense that
course.
she's fucking her cousin. I don't
It's
think
their
that's
source. It's their Fox News.
I
their
don't
MSNBC, all
think that's
that.
what's
Yeah.
happening at all. I think the cousins just probably talked some sense into her. She probably just described the relationship. And the cousins were like, that guy seems crazy. Why are you dating him? I think that they just said to her, this guy seems insane.
Because he did say cousins plural, and I feel if it was just the two of them, since this is clearly geared toward that direction, he would have been very clear. Like, this cousins retreat is for a very small family where there's only 2 kids in the family, and so it's just 2 of them. Like, he would have pointed that out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Also, that's just insane. What a crazy, for that to be your first go-to option.
Yeah.
Oh, I think my girlfriend's not into me anymore because she's fucking her cousin. What? That was your, most realistic option.
Yeah, you're either crazy paranoid or you have had really bad exes. Like, those exes will never end up at
Yeah.
your parents' place.
I mean,
And if they
there's-
do, that kid's going to have a really big hit.
Yeah.
If you're sensing a shift in energy, there's probably something behind it. Maybe her family's pressuring her to, I don't know the nature
Yes.
of their relationship, but maybe, and sometimes having that space, sometimes getting other viewpoints does give you clarity. So it could be that, maybe she's feeling differently, but it's probably not that she's having sex with her cousin.
Yeah, bro, you've been watching way
Yeah.
too much Game of Thrones. This
Yeah.
is crazy.
Because there's a lot of things. Like, he could just be smothering her. Like, she's away on this vacation. He's blowing up her phone, and she's supposed to be spending this time away.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of explanations for why things go cold. And one of them, and the most innocent, I think, is just, you guys aren't that great together. You guys just spent some time apart. Absence makes the heart go fonder. And
Unless it's a
she
terrible
just-
relationship. And then
Yeah,
you're like,
she just-
I'm way better off now.
She just spent some time away from you and just realized you kind of weren't that cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest here. Your girlfriend's cheating on you with her cousin. Nobody else wants to admit it, but I'm just going to say it right here. If you're going to have sex with your cousin, the mountains in Mexico is the place to do it. No
Fuck
one's
yeah,
gonna,
dude.
No one's going to judge you. No one's going to shame you. So she's up there. She's in an entanglement with her cousin. You know what I mean? The only thing you can do to save yourself in this point is you cheat right?
Yes.
That's number one. You have to sleep
to
with someone
cheat.
else.
I think they're up there.
Yeah.
I think they got like some mariachi music playing while their cousin fucking.
I think
You,
I
you gotta find a cousin that you're even more closely related to,
Yeah.
and you cheat
have
on
sex
her
with
with
your
that
cousin.
cousin.
That's right. And then
you need to
have
you need to FDR and Eleanor Roosevelt this shit.
Exactly.
yeah, and then your inbred baby is gonna stick his arm in the river hole and catch a bigger catfish than their inbred baby. You
Yeah.
know, and you have them compete.
Or
He's gonna play spoons better. All of that shit.
Or it could just be she's in Mexico having a really awesome time and you're being a little needy. Now I'm gonna go with the first option.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
First
go with
option
the
is
first
way more
option.
First option.
Yeah.
First option is
You
always
go
most
to the
organic.
first option. You
Yeah.
cheat with your cousin. You get back at her, and then you see if she's being dry. Next thing you know, find out where she lives.
Yeah.
Photoshop a picture of her apartment being on fire. If she doesn't respond immediately, then she's cheating on you with her cousin. And then
Yeah.
after that, come to the realization that she is in Mexico in the mountains. Maybe it's hard to text a motherfucker back when you're out in Mexico, seeing all kind of magical shit.
That's true.
Where the aliens landed first. Maybe you're not
Yes,
thinking about that.
thank you.
Yeah, we were talking about this
But-
last week.
We can't talk
Remember,
about the Mexican
I'm such a
aliens
skeptic.
enough.
I think the Mexican alien was nothing but a pinata and filled with lies.
Listen,
I love the Mexican aliens.
I will say this. I think a lot of people have a xenophobic ideas that aliens have to come to America first. That's crazy. Like aliens just come here and they're like, okay, we're gonna wait 1,000 years for America to come.
That's
around,
right.
I
Yeah.
love the idea that that
When it
aliens came to Earth, flew millions of miles just to prove that Americans are fucking racist.
Yeah.
That's right.
They walk across the border and someone's like, "Yeah, you guys can come in." You're like, "We'll take care of you," and they're like, See, this little 3-foot aliens, just proving that we're horrible to all of the migrants.
I don't like to be this way, but when it comes to aliens from outer space, I have a very American first policy. Our rednecks have been getting abducted by them for decades before anyone else. We should get the first aliens. I feel we should get the first aliens.
You think we should get the first alien?
I feel we should
Americans should get the
yes,
first aliens.
Yes, I feel we should get the first alien.
But we don't
Why?
know what rednecks in other countries are doing.
Oh, that's a good point. It's not like rednecks travel much.
Because every country,
Every country's rednecks is
every country
getting-
has a version of rednecks. Yeah.
Somewhere
I don't
in
think so.
in the hills outside of Tokyo, there's a
do.
guy with no shoes and overalls on, and he's like, "Dude, I'm telling you,
So-
I got sucked up in the tractor meet. I was growing fucking bamboo shoots and things like that, and I fucking they came and got me.
I believe that. But there's also just children in Africa that said that aliens came and visited them.
Really?
And, yeah, this is a big story. It's on the BBC.
I heard
and
they helped them
everything.
build the pyramids. Is that true?
Supposedly they did a lot of stuff. But the reason that I believe that the aliens visit rednecks and also children in other places is
Yeah.
because the rednecks have the same intelligence as the children.
Sure.
So the aliens think, oh, this person has the developed brain of a child. So they're just visiting children.
Yeah.
I think that's why. But beyond that, the number one thing that you need to understand is that maybe she's having a really good time and she's having an awesome time. And this is so early in your relationship or whatever period it is that you can get away with whatever you want right now.
Yeah.
And you need to take advantage of that. Because right
Yes.
now you're just out here so focused on her that you're not living your life.
Yeah.
So why would you
Yeah.
let your girlfriend stand in the way of you finding true love?
Here,
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You
Yeah.
need to find
Yeah.
your cousin
All I'm saying-
cabin or whatever the fuck that thing is.
I agree with this 100%, and I think that it's definitely a good play to go to your cousin and explain the romantic woes and say, listen, I got to get back at her. Let's do the thing. The only thing I will say, though, is it might make Thanksgiving and Christmas awkward coming up. So just make sure that maybe, hopefully you could do an every other, maybe go to someone else's house for
They say
those holidays.
99% of human DNA is identical, so we're all cousins. So whoever
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
want to be your cousin,
That's
No,
true.
it's got to be a first cousin, or it doesn't count.
Yeah. For
She's
sure.
not going to be. Your girlfriend's not going to be upset.
just
if
call her
it's
primo, prima, whatever you're into.
I mean, dude, if it's first cousin, that's wild. If it's second cousin, pretty weird. If it's third cousin, I mean, I can't name a single third cousin. Let's
Yeah,
be
no.
honest.
No
Let's
one's
be
going to get
honest.
hurt
You guys-
feelings over a third cousin.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
The royal family does it. Look how they
It's-
turned out.
There's an old Latin word for third cousins, and it's stranger. Okay,
have
it
you
doesn't
guys,
matter. It doesn't matter.
Have you guys heard that story of when Charles Darwin was going through genealogy and whatever, and so, he was married to his first cousin, and so when he was going through and figuring out genealogy
Christ.
and how like it's not good to marry your first cousin.
No,
and
no.
it's like
Fake news.
the story. It's like he like figures this out. And he's
This
like,
sounds like anti-royal propaganda.
so
I
it's,
will not stand for it.
again. I'm sure I'm like. I'm
Who
not
told you that,
telling it
Meghan
properly.
Markle and that liar Prince Harry?
But he's like it's like, you know, he had like a pretty normal life, and then he figured out that it's pretty bad to fuck your first cousin, and then he was just like not horrible to his family, but he was just like his whole life's like, oh my god, and he himself was like very ill and frail, and like his kids were very ill and frail, and he was like, oh my god, and just like disgusted with himself essentially.
It's
he like
inbred.
yeah.
It's trashy.
Yeah,
but
and that
but
they
royal
didn't know,
and fancy.
but they 100% didn't know that. They
The
thought
whole
it was
time-
like keeping the genes in the family.
Dude, the whole time they were doing it, there was a guy with a banjo playing blang, blang, blang,
Yeah.
blang, 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 blang.
I love the idea, like the thought that just every footnote in the theory of evolution was like, and don't fuck your first cousin.
We've all been there,
Gets
Darwin.
wild.
We've all been
Yeah.
there.
It gets
You're a
wild.
boy.
It's funny because there's been so many royal families throughout time who did that, and
Yeah.
it almost
like,
always went
all
bad.
of them.
It
All
almost
of them.
always ended
Yeah.
fucking
True.
crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, any other final advice for this question? I'm done with this question. I want to go to the lightning round.
All right, let's see.
No, I would just say, hey, if it makes you feel any better, I just found out that all the presidents are somehow related. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fuck your cousin.
Yeah, I would. You know how I would get a one up on her is I would be like, I just had sex with a lady in a cabin and I wasn't related to her at all. Boom, and I would just mic drop and walk out.
Yeah.
That's
It's,
the move.
It
Yeah.
almost like makes bestiality sound romantic. No.
Right? Yeah. I mean, maybe try a furry first.
Yeah. Bestiality is
Figure out if it's your thing before you go full Mr. Hands on this one.
I don't remember reading that Emily Brunt. No.
Maybe that's. I mean,
Oh no, Mr. Hands was a viral
That's
online
why
video.
in the UK they're so known for like sheep fucking, is because they're like, well, okay, I'm not gonna fuck my cousin, but I am gonna fuck this sheep. Okay, I get something. I get
I
something.
didn't know that was a UK stereotype, to be honest.
There
Really?
was, my friend sent me this article, and it was this. There was someone in the village that kept going and fucking this guy's sheep. So they interviewed the farmer, and the farmer's like, he goes, I mean, it is annoying, but
It was like he's sitting there eating a sheep steak, going, "It ain't the worst thing we've done to sheep. Let's
he was
be
like,
honest."
He was just like, yeah, it's annoying, but it wasn't the worst thing that happened to him that day. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like,
He's
Sure.
like, I'll tell you one thing.
He was like,
He really makes that sheep come. I'll tell you that right now. That sheep is the happiest sheep I've ever had. I don't like it, but she's happy. Look at her.
and he loved that sheep. He said, "Sheep, you're the reason that cavemen used to chisel on walls." He loved her.
It's the one sheep that they don't have to use
Yeah.
a border collie to get her to come back.
Yeah.
I got a date tonight. Let me get back to
That's
this.
right. She
She's
keeps
all-
coming back again
she's
and
all
again.
just
and again.
sat in her
She keeps
stall.
coming back all night long.
licking herself. Okay.
She's shearing herself to get ready.
Did you just shear a landing strip into yourself?
Yeah.
My God. Who the hell taught you that?
Sheep's trying to do a Brazilian.
Oh my god! I'm sorry. That's like the cutest thing to think of. Like
That's
little
the cutest thing? Whoa, whoa,
No.
whoa.
Yeah.
sheep, like
Shaved
female,
sheep sexy.
female
Especially
sheep,
after
like,
a bottle of wine and some
giving-
fucking Xanax.
I'm just saying it's in my head it's a cute cartoon of like female sheep like giving each other bikini waxes. I know that that's like really
You hear that,
weird.
chat? If you can't fall asleep, just think of that. That's your new thing now.
They're not jumping over fences. They're giving each other bikini waxes.
One bad.
I'm going to go give a go to Brazilian. It's going to be
Ram
adorable.
You.
Oh my
I
god.
want to go watch Babe now. I will never watch that movie the same after this.
Oh, another fun fact about Babe is that they had to use like at least like 65 piglets because the piglets kept
Role?
aging out of the
Yeah.
role.
Aw.
I mean, what more of a Hollywood story can you
Yeah.
talk about? You're too old.
Yeah.
You can't play this role anymore.
Sorry, baby pig, you're not hot.
The
Yeah.
pig is really right here in your heart.
That's true. Especially if you
Well,
eat a
great.
lot of bacon grease.
Let's do the last one. We're going to do this one lightning round.
All right. Lightning round style. We are going to take our last question on the Love Gurus podcast. People, if you've got questions to give us, write them in to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com, or even better, give them to us live every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. We are going to take our last question, lightning round style. Is this going to be the number 4 or number 5?
The fifth one about the husband lying about his finances.
All right.
Yeah.
Last question on Love Gurus podcast.
So we're gonna do this lightning round. It is a bit of a long question, but so what we'll do is we'll just go around the room and everyone give their quick hot take on what they think final advice should be for this question. So, question is, husbands lying about finances. I'm 44 and my husband's 61. When we got married 5 years ago, he told me that he was extremely...
Wait, you said 44, 61?
44, 61.
Okay.
When we got married 5 years ago, he told me that he was extremely wealthy. He wasn't working and said that he had been retired for 10 years and that he had made an enormous amount of money. He had two other partners and they made $900 million in Europe, which they split 3 ways, $300 million each. They hid the money and didn't pay taxes on it. The money is purportedly in 2 other banks.
He ran for president in 2016 and won.
And deposited anonymously under numerical codes. The regulators are watching them to see if the accounts are accessed, which supposedly my husband and his partners can't access their money without the risk of being caught. People, quote unquote, are working on getting access to the money. He claims that he won't tell me any of the details to protect me in case that he's ever caught and I'm questioned. He wants me to be able to say that I know nothing. Obviously, this would be really bad if it were true, and that my husband is a criminal. However, I'm 99% certain that this story is false. I am the sole breadwinner of the family, and I pay for everything. We also have a 3-year-old son. I strongly... I think that what happened was that when my husband would just tell the story to women, but our relationship went further. Frankly, it's obviously embarrassing, and I don't want to tell anyone about it, but I'm eager for some opinions. How do I get my husband to confess or just let him be?
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah.
Run, bitch! You dating the Tindler swindler? You need to get out of here. I've seen this on Netflix. Yeah. First thing you need to do is you need to get all the money that you can right now, put it in another account so he can't have access to it. Then what you need to do is you need to find this other person on Reddit, go move in with his parents because they're opening shit up for people.
Yep.
Take you and your child, and then leave your husband with his 61 million or 330 million euros. Is that what it was? It was like euros, right?
It had a dollar sign, but
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know.
$30 million
at this point.
The exchange ratio doesn't matter on made up money.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
And you need
Yeah.
to be free, and then the last thing you need to do is buy a sheep, and then that's it. That's the only way. Apparently, you're a gullible person. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You believe he had $330 million and he's hanging out with you? Come on. Like, what's going on?
Dude, $300 millionaires don't eat at fucking Arby's. What are you doing? That's crazy.
Yeah. My final advice is that's exactly, Alex, what I thought when I was like, this is literally the exact story of the Tinder swindler. And it's one thing if your husband says that, or again, like, because they've been together for 5 years. It's one thing if the person you're dating says that he or she is rich and you go along with it. It's a completely different thing when you A, get married, B, have a fucking kid. Like, but the thing is that she kind of sounds like she's resolved that she knows it's fake. She kind of just wants him to admit it. It's almost like she almost is kind of either the most gullible or grounded person that's ever existed. It's like, she either is so stupid or she's just like, I just really like him. I really like him as a person. He's a good dad, whatever.
But he doesn't work.
She's just fine with it.
No, this lady dumb.
She's pretty
Dumb. The problem is not that her husband is lying about finance. It's that he's lying so egregiously badly. This is the most insane lie.
Yeah.
There's no way this relation... I cannot imagine how this man functions in other aspects of his life. Like, if this is the lie that you came up with that you thought was plausible to give to your wife, like, what else is going on in your brain? What else are you like? There's other problems here in this relationship.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, he's going in and making up stories to get free sandwiches and stuff. Like, he does this all the fucking time.
Yeah.
All the time. He's so comfortable with lying. If anything, he's so bad at lying that I kind of feel bad for him because he's made it into his 60s and gone, Well, my lie is just to like bang a lady twice and then move on. You know, when she realizes that I don't have $300 million and I did just bring her to a place I got on Airbnb with a tax refund. And I like that's it. But this lady stuck around, so every day he has to wake up and go, how do I keep the light going, dude? I told her it was buried on a fucking desert island. Like, what do you?
She does clarify in the question that she pays for everything.
I know.
Yeah,
She
no,
always
I
pays
know.
for everything, and he keeps making up the lie that quote unquote people are working on getting him his money.
Yes.
But every day he's gotta go. No, it'll be here next Wednesday. Is it Wednesday already? Shit, I gotta do another lie. Oh,
Yeah, it's like, who you dating?
It's-
Sam
oh.
Bankman-Fried? What the fuck is this lady
Yeah.
talking about? It's
Yeah.
like $330 million.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
That's like a lie I would make up when I was 12. You know what I
Right.
mean? To be like, oh, my dad has $330 million. He's just busy right now. He can't
That's
get
what I thought. It's like I think that smaller lies are much more digestible, and
Yes.
so it's again. That's why I go back to it's such a stupid thing to say that there has to be something about him where it's like she doesn't care. She knows he's lying. She doesn't care he's lying. There's something else about him that makes him a good person, if that makes sense.
no.
You don't. That's not your lie, and then everything, and you're normal about everything else.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, there's other things that he's
You're
like
that
hiding,
person that
or
coaches the
you're-
high school football team to the state victory.
Right.
Maybe it's in crypto. I don't know. Maybe it's like he doesn't remember the key or something. Like
I do like the idea of a sequel to Friday Night Lights where some angry woman comes in at the end going, I knew it. You coach high school football. You're not a $300 millionaire. This is ridiculous.
Okay, we did say that we were going to do this lightning round, so sorry.
okay.
I am taking us off topic. I've given my final advice. Who else would like to give final advice for this woman?
I think I gave it
Poor
already,
Pope.
which is you gotta cheat on him.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to find yourself a new partner.
And you
right
gotta-
away.
you
There's
gotta
a lonely
steal.
guy right now.
That's
His
right.
girlfriend is in Mexico. Or if not, you move in with the other dude's parents, get their Reddit. If not, get a sheep, find a
Boom.
cousin. There's a lot of things you could do here. Or just, you know what? Get yourself some hobbies. That's the next. That's
Yep.
it.
Find
Do that.
find a cousin.
Yeah.
Move in with your ex's parents.
There's so
get
many
a hobby. Start a new life.
Start watching football. We've got it all covered.
This
Yeah.
lady's way more gullible than sheep. This is
Yeah.
pretty fucking rough. Okay. Here's what you do. You got to just go to him and be like, all right, you're in your 60s. They haven't given you the money yet because people are looking for you. When are you gonna get the money? Because what are you like? Is it on your deathbed? Like they're going clear. Here's the money. Beep. Like, and then you get to hold it one last time. What are you talking about? And you just have to tell them, look, you either buy me something nice or I'm going to the authorities. You know, and just see what he does. See what he does.
I'm going to take a step back and say this man might have early onset dementia. And you are, who knows? This man
Yeah.
might think he's a whole nother person right now.
This is elderly abuse.
Exactly. This guy might think he's the plot from Brewster's Millions. And
Yes.
you're over here talking about, where the fuck is the money? You know, whatever old dude's name is, like
Yeah.
Leland or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
so, you know, shame on you for
Yeah.
abusing this elderly man and trying to get his millions.
All
Yeah.
of his stories are stories from Brewster's Million.
Ma'am,
So
you're-
I mailed
ma'am,
the
you're a
upside down
monster.
plane stamp.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Meanwhile,
it's ridiculous.
He's just talking about a Cadbury egg he's got in the back somewhere.
Yeah.
He's like, it's my millions.
It's insane. It's
Yeah.
insane. He's so bad at lying that I feel bad for him. You know,
Something
he's
could
not
be wrong
supposed
with
to-
this guy.
Yeah, it's people that are this either bad at lying or this mentally ill. They're not meant to be in long-term relationships. So the fact that you have forced this on this man, it's taken him outside his element. He's made it 60 plus years, which is getting laid a couple times. Women realize he's not a millionaire, and then he moves on, and he's on to a new one.
Yeah.
He's been doing it well for decades.
1000%.
He's been doing this since the goddamn 60s. And now here you come, and he's trying to now I have to make up lies involving Instagram, whatever the
Yeah.
fuck that is. And it's just, you're ruining his life. Shame on you.
She needs to start writing a screenplay immediately. Get
Yes.
it to Netflix.
Yes.
I would watch this.
Yeah.
Dude, it's an amazing
and,
movie.
And also, yeah, really, we blow through so much stuff. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact,
I
she's
don't care- I
definitely
don't care
slept
if
with
it's-
guys
I
who've
don't
said they're
care if it's that
producers, for
good.
sure. I mean, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, they claim to be
Yeah.
in movies.
I
and-
watched Love is Blind. I'll fucking watch this bitch's story.
Oh, yeah.
With this one, love is dumb as fuck. It's not blind, but it is stupid. It is
Love doesn't
really
cost
stupid.
a thing. There you go. You got a title.
Oh,
That's for you. Just take that. That's a Nick
Yeah.
I
Cannon
thought
movie,
that was
but
a movie. Yeah.
but you can use the same title multiple times. But
Man on YouTube says, ask for his pin. Yeah, boom. I mean, figure something out.
he's like, it's one.
It's like that scene in Coneheads where it's like Balsa, I need to get your social security number. He's like 176A4
Yeah. He doesn't even know. It's like,
Z.
it's my birthday.
Anyway, we answered that question. I think we answered all these questions super duper good this week.
Yes. Thank you so much to everybody who listen out there. Thank you to our guests. Thank you to Divya Gunasekaran. Thank you to Alex Payne. Thank you to everybody who listened and was live in the chats there. Thank you to Nicole. Thank you to Matt. Thank you to Joel. Thank you to Eugene. Thank you to producer Amy, to Esther. Until next week, like and subscribe. Listen live every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you next time.
Later.